right guys, as you can see, beautiful night and prime time for topwater fishing. So I'm gonna have some fun with this little Bagley walking bait. That's called the Knocker B, and these things come in two different sizes, 09 and an 11. This is the number 9, a little bit smaller. As you can see, you know, it's loud, makes some noise. Casts really good. They cast this little bait a mile. Last summer around home, caught a pile of smallmouths on this thing, and you know, no matter where I'm fishing, down south, up north, anywhere in between, if it's a body of water where there's any potential for schooling fish, which, you know, just about everywhere we fish that can happen, automatic that you have a walking bait like this on a rod. You can cast these things a mile. You know, you see fish come up out there, you can bomb this thing at them, and one of the best ways to catch schooling fish. But I like walking baits. You know, I'm fishing on a lake that I have no experience on, don't know a lot about it. I'm gonna run, you know, a bunch of points like this, just beat the bank. These things are good because you can cover water with them. You know, a popper, I like throwing poppers a lot, but a little bit slower. I like throwing a popper around a specific piece of cover, a specific spot. These things are great for covering water, and yeah, we're gonna go throw it around, have some fun, and hopefully catch a few fish on it. So for throwing topwater baits, and I'm pretty much the same across the board, whether it's a walking bait, a popper, prop bait. Big fan of braid. I'm running 30-pound Power Pro on all my setups. Far as the rod goes, this is a 7-1 2-power 852 IMX Pro, just a jig and worm rod, so fairly light action, and that just compensates for the no stretch in the braid. The one thing I do like to do, the same deal, all the topwaters, I like to put about a 18 to 20 inch leader. I got an FG knot from the braid to 20-pound mono. And the reason why I like to do that is the braid's pretty soft. So if you tie the braid direct, you're gonna get the hooks wrapped around the line a little bit more often. So the stiff fluoro kind of never happens. And then the mono's got a little bit of give in it, and you know, just helps with setting the hook and not, you know, having a little bit of give there because the braid's got no stretch. Reels, that's a old Shimano Metanium, and I've got some new ones. They're beautiful. This one's 6 or 7 years old, but still, I mean, can cast a mile with it, doesn't make a noise. And that's just, you know, every couple years I get the reels cleaned, and that just goes a long way to maintaining, you know, I don't turn over all my reels every year. If they're, you know, these high-end ones, you know, they're a little bit more expensive, but you're gonna get your money's worth out of them as far as just lasting you a long time. Like, you can, these high-end reels, I mean, you should be able to get 10 years out of them, no problem. So that's my setup for topwater fishing, and yeah, if you're not using braid, give it a try. Oh yeah. Well, we haven't been lighting them up. A few spots, a few misses, and yeah, a little striper. These things like the topwaters as well, I guess. But when you get a nice calm night, there's no better way to catch some fish than to throw a topwater. This might be the hardest time trying to grab one ever, but there you go. Bagley Knocker B. When you're throwing these walk the dog type baits, walking baits, pretty easy to use. You can't just fire them out and reel them in. You gotta do a little bit of work with them, but it's all about twitching them and having a little bit of slack in the line when you twitch it, and that's gonna allow the bait to go back and forth, and that's sort of the triggering thing, and it makes those rattles bounce around in there. And you can see as I'm reeling, it takes a little bit of practice, but you get a cadence on picking up the slack but not having your line tight. If your line's too tight when you're retrieving these things, they'll just sort of come in a straight line, and they just don't look that good. You want them to walk around and dance around. There we go, there's a nice spot on the Knocker B. Yeah, he wasn't coming off.
Sweet.